And Indiana has done it. Their first ever Commissioner's Cup championship, knocking off the Minnesota Lynx. This is Howard setting up McDonald, knocking down the tray. Finds it cutting McDonald, easy deuce.
You won't believe what the Indiana Fever just pulled off, without their biggest star, Caitlin Clark. And facing the powerhouse Minnesota Lynx, led by MVP fruit runner Napheesa Collier, they were expected to fall apart. To make matters worse, veteran DeWanna Bonner offered no support, but instead of folding, the Fever rose to the occasion with incredible heart and teamwork. Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Natasha Howard led a performance that shocked the league and proved this team's true grit. What happened in that game will forever change how fans view the Fever, and Caitlin Clark's powerful six-word reaction after the game said it all. Picture this. The Indiana Fever stepping into the Target Center for their first ever Commissioner's Cup final. With their lineup barely holding together, Caitlin Clark, their standout second-year sensation who had carried the team all season, was sidelined for the third consecutive game, still recovering from a nagging groin injury. But this wasn't just any absence. This was their top scorer, their playmaker, and the driving force behind the sold-out crowds that followed them nationwide.
Caitlin and her status, just how did she look? How did she feel today during shoot-around? And is she making progress and getting closer playing?
She's making progress. You know, I think, again, top of mind, I think I told you this afternoon, is just long-term. Now, making sure that we don't have any setbacks. You know, making progress and feeling good are two different things, and we want to make sure that she feels good. We want to make sure that she's confident. We want to make sure that we're not putting her in a position to have any setbacks, and that's the priority right now.
And that wasn't the only challenge the Fever were facing. Damaris Dantas was thousands of miles away, representing her country in the FIBA AmeriCup, creating yet another major gap in an already thin rotation.
Hey, Fever, I miss you.
Then there's the DeWanna Bonner situation, which caught everyone off guard. The Fever brought her in during the offseason, expecting her veteran presence to provide leadership and stability. But after just 9 games, she parted ways with the team and was waived, a move that left fans stunned. At a time when her teammates needed her most, she walked away, leaving a major void both on and off the court.
DeWanna Bonner was brought in for leadership. She was brought in for leadership. And you want to know all that these young players learned from her? If things don't go your way, refuse to show up, continue to get paid a max contract while you are sitting out, refusing to play.
She got benched, she couldn't handle it, I want out. She's not playing well, she's getting criticized, I want out.
The Fever weren't just facing a good team, they were up against the league's best. The Minnesota Lynx came in with a 1-for-1 record, defending their Commissioner's Cup title at home, led by MVP favorite Napheesa Collier. The arena was packed, the crowd was loud, and Las Vegas had the Lynx favored by 14 points. Most experts had already counted Indiana out before the game even
Look pretty flawless, you know, in the way that they're playing. I don't know if different is the word as much as they look even more connected. You know, they're a team that was connected a year ago, but really the nuance of having each other's back on the defensive end, of knowing where your teammate's going to be, you know, discipline to coverages, the connectivity that they have on the offensive end of the floor. I mean, the way that they move with and without the ball, the way that the ball moves makes it really tough to cover. You know, I often say that offense is like a dance, and they are flowing, man. They are making music, and there's no doubt about it. So we have to try to be disruptive, and we have to try to take them out of that rhythm.
This was supposed to be the Fever's moment, their first ever Commissioner's Cup final, but everything seemed to go wrong. Key players were missing, pressure was sky high, and the critics were circling. The team knew all eyes were on them, expecting them to collapse. It felt like David versus Goliath, only this time, David was outnumbered, outgunned, and holding a broken slingshot. Here's where things really started to fall apart. Without Caitlin Clark, the Fever looked like a completely different team. They had dropped 3 of their last 5 games leading up to the Commissioner's Cup final, often blowing double-digit leads in games they should have closed out. Their fast-paced defense slowed to a crawl, and the crisp ball movement that once defined them vanished. Players began forcing tough shots and drifting into isolation plays, abandoning the team-first approach that had energized fans all season. It was clear this wasn't the same Fever team that had sparked so much hope.
Which is your first season with this batch of players, and so I'm just wondering if the Commissioner's Cup is just a stepping stone for greater things to come.
Well, I hope so. But at the same time, we want to take care of business now, right? We want to win a cup. So we're not looking at it necessarily as a stepping stone. We're looking at it as an opportunity to win. And then we're looking at it, as coaches, as an opportunity to continue to stack days. We haven't had a lot of consistency in our lineup, and so we haven't really built that camaraderie and connectedness that we need in order for us to be successful. But we can take another step towards growth, another step towards consistency. On the floor, in execution, in energy level. We're playing the best team in the league right now, and we've got to come out and we got to play our A game.
Aaliyah Boston is one of the Fever's biggest strengths, but without Caitlin Clark, she struggled to get involved. Despite sealing position in the paint, her teammates often missed her, opting for tough perimeter shots instead. The offense lost its rhythm, and Boston's frustration was clear. Clark wasn't just a scorer, she kept the team organized and the ball moving. Without her, the Fever looked lost, and opponents took advantage by focusing all their defense on stopping Boston and Kelsey Mitchell.
What are some of the keys that you see as to how exactly you're going to do that, or what you guys need to do to approach the game successfully?
Yeah, I think we've got to be disruptive. We've got to make sure that we play with a level of physicality that doesn't allow them to just pass the ball around where everywhere that they want to pass it. So we've got to make sure that we're disruptive. We got to make sure that we're elite at our on-ball screen defense. This is a team that reads really well, that moves really well. We got to be elite at the point of attack on on-ball screen defense. We always talk about guarding our yard, being able to guard one-on-one, so we're not in rotation early. I think for us, it's going to have to start on the defensive end of the floor, so that allows us to get out and run in transition as well. But we can't allow them to just do exactly what they want to do on the offensive end.
Anyone else? Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
The Commissioner's Cup became a defining test for the entire Fever roster. Could they find a way to win without their star? Could they regain the ball movement and chemistry that made them dangerous? That uncertainty made what happened next all the more remarkable.
Coach Stephanie White has a motto. She says, "Pressure is a privilege." You came into the former champion's house and took them down on their home floor. How does it feel to bring Indiana their first championship?
It feels great. We knew that we had to come in here with energy. We know that they're a great team and they were going to go on runs. And so for us, it was about containing those runs and then going on our own.
What happened next was nothing short of inspiring. The Indiana Fever chose to take control of their own narrative. From the opening tip, there was a new fire in their eyes. This wasn't the same team that had been stumbling without Clark. They came out focused, energized, and determined to win one for their sideline star.
What gave you the confidence to come in here and take down this team on their home floor?
We knew we were capable. God has equipped us. And so for us, about coming in here and doing what we know what to do, I think the entire game, coach just continued to instill that confidence, continue to tell us take it one possession at a time, and we did that.
The game plan was obviously to wall off the paint against you and Tosh, but both of you guys finished with double-doubles. How did you guys get freed up? And for you especially, how'd you get going late in this game?
It started with Tosh. Tosh, that entire first half and even that entire game, just really took it to them, made them have to guard. And so with her attacking from different angles, they had to space out a little bit. And that fourth quarter, I was able to score.
And finally, Aaliyah, what are you going to do with your prize money?
That's going to be a boom!
Congratulations, lady.
Corrals it. Out to Cunningham. In the corner. Got the three. Indiana on top. Howard. Finds it. Cutting McDonald. Easy deuce.
Beautiful read by Natasha Howard. And Ari McDonald, that opened up the three-point shot.
Howard to steal. Open floor in front of her. Got the lay. Indiana battling.
This crowd is quiet. Natasha Howard is a former Defensive Player of the Year, knows the ball is coming to Nafisa Collier, just gets that deflection, gets going in the open court, and it is all Indiana in terms of the momentum in this game right now. This building is quiet.
It was a team effort tonight, but with 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists, your MVP is Natasha Howard. MVP! MVP! MVP!
Gives it up to Mitchell. Mitchell. Over to Cunningham. Long range. Bottoms. Big time trifecta. Sophie Cunningham. Finds Hall. Beyond the arc. He score. Holson with the trifecta.
That's how you do it.
Over to Cunningham, long range, bottoms.
A joint effort across the board. Everyone on this roster did their part tonight.
Coming into this, you talked about so much, hey, you got to have the right approach. Don't trick this off. Like, have the focus. Take me inside that mindset of you guys coming into this game and how tonight was just a collective effort that got it done.
I describe this entire experience as a gut check experience, and I mean that intentionally. I mean physically, mentally, psychologically. It was a gut check moment today, and I think for us, it was about making sure we won those moments that mattered. And I thought down the stretch of the game, we did an unbelievable job of just staying together, weathering the storm, and kind of utilizing what we needed to based on our schemes and our personnel from practice. And I thought down the stretch of the game specifically, we bought in. All five of us, whoever was on the floor, bought in. And I think you guys got to see that.
Guys, how you feeling?